Alright, first off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom. This is the brother Aaron from JMS Jamaica camp, coming with another quick lesson. And this lesson is a bit of a testimonial, if you will, just something that I experienced recently. And the experience, gave me the inspired me for this lesson. I actually learned a lot, and I think I'll just share with the brothers, and hopefully this is edifying to the to the body, to the hopeful elect. All right. And this topic is based upon being your brother's keeper. It's much more than just telling a brother when they go off. It's much more than giving just giving a brother money. you know it's more than just any one individual thing. Based on the experience that I've had, the overall thing of you being a brother's keeper is to be reliable. Whatever the case is, whether yes, reproof, whether you need to reproof a brother, yes or no, whether you need to give a brother money, whether you need to give brothers advice, it all goes into you working towards a brother's welfare. But in order for you to do that, you have to be dependable. All right. So let me just read the scripture right here, then I'll just get straight into it. Right? This is St. John 15 verse 11. It says, "These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be fulfilled, may be full." Slakia. Right? It says, "This commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love had no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend. Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servants know not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you, that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, and whatsoever ye shall ask of my Father in my name, he may give it to you." Right? And that's the thing. He gave us the brotherhood, which we're supposed to love one another as like Yahweh Shai himself, has loved us, while we're actually, doing this ministry. Because ultimately when we preach this word, both in word, doing these videos, doing these sit downs, and also in deed, your conduct, being dependent, being a dependable brother, being a reliable brother, ensure that you are there for the welfare of the brotherhood, and also the nation on a whole, because preaching is actually showing love. But referring mainly to the brotherhood, you definitely want to be dependable. That is the main part of being a brother's keeper. Right? Verse 17 says, "These things I command you, that ye love one another." Right? Now, there are two words here for love, and I'm going to just go for the first one, that's in verse 13, that says, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man may lay down his life for his friend." Right? Let's look up the word love, and it is the Greek word agape, which, if you are familiar with the lessons that brothers do,
Strong's G26, agape,
you will be familiar with these words. So it's actually referring to what? To show affection, goodwill, love, belovedness, brotherly love. So you should be showing affection. You should be affectionate towards brothers. You should definitely would want to look out for brothers. And it says charitable. Now when it says charitable, it doesn't mean that you give money, or you give alms. It's also a spiritual side of anything that you'd want for yourself, you actually want that for a brother as well. Right? That is the true love. Right? As it says, "Well, love thy neighbor as as thou love thyself. Now going down to verse 17 where it says, these things I command you that ye love one another. Let's look on the word love right there, and it's a different word. So it's agapo, right, which is a derivative of agape.
Strong's G25, agapao. Agapao.
Right, it says of persons to welcome, to entertain, to be fond of, to love dearly, to be well pleased, to be contented at or with a thing, right? And it says to love in a social or moral sense. Now I'm gonna go down here where it says to love, be full of goodwill and exhibit the same. It says with accusative of the person, to have a preference for, wish well to, regard the welfare of. All right, so it's actually what regarding the welfare of someone or something. All right, let me scroll on a bit, checking something real quick that I didn't check earlier. I'm just gonna see if any of these reference points to. All right, so it doesn't. So all right, it does. This part says, right, so when used of love to a master, or this is in regards to love of Yahushua. So Yahushua says he should actually we should love each other as he has loved us. So it says when used of the love to a master, power, or the Messiah, the word involves the idea of affectionate reverence, prompt obedience, grateful recognition of benefits received, right? And that's the thing, we should definitely think about how Yahushua has benefited us, right? And all the benefits that he has given unto us, and just as how he has given it to us, we give unto the brotherhood. Now let's look on the word welfare. I will explain all of this very shortly, but let me just get in the scriptures first, so that when I'm speaking you may have some form of foundation to stand on, right? So it says look into the welfare of another, right? Now this is the word welfare. It says the state of doing well, especially in respect to good fortune, happiness, well-being, or prosperity. I'm just going to focus mainly on what the well-being. So we're focusing on the well-being of each other. As it says in Philippians, each man should not look to his own thing, but the things of another. I'll get that shortly as well. Right now, the second definition is what I'll be using mainly, where it says in aid in aid in the form of money or necessities of those in need. And it says an agency or program through which such aid is distributed. So it's all about the distribution of aid. That's true love, right? When you're able to aid a brother both spiritually and carnally, carnally with alms, spiritually with words of advice, bringing these scriptures, your conduct and giving this doctrine, right? Yeah, I think that's it for that. Now I said earlier that we should all be Salakia, we should all be dependable, right, or reliable. Now let's look on the word reliable. It's from it says suitable or fit to be relied on, and then I click on the word relied, and it gives you the word rely. It says to be dependent, to have confidence based on experience. So we want to be reliable, meaning that we want to brothers, even your own household starts with us relying on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because ultimately we can't save anyone. But speaking as men, we're going through our day to day, we do use the brotherhood as a form of support in in many ways, shapes, or form, because that's what Yahushai gave us while preaching the ministry, as we just read in St. John, right? So you should want to aspire to be a brother that brothers can rely on, as it pertains to once it's in your power, that is, you give alms, and you lead by example, you set examples, or whether it be words of advice, encouragement, that is what it's all about, the edifying and the building of the church. So it's all about providing these aids, because you're taking care of Yahushai's servant, as it says. Yahushai said, you know, anything that you do to these little ones, you have done it unto me also. Roughly paraphrasing, right? Now, let me just get that precept in Philippians, and then I'll just let you know the whole experience that I was mentioning earlier. All right, so this is I think it's Philippians chapter 2. Right, Philippians chapter 2 verse 4, it says, look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. All right, and that's the thing, you know, we should ensure that we look, you know, on the things of others. Now let's check on the word look, because even that one in itself, you know, play the Greek.
Strong's G 4648. Scapeo. Scapeo.
So it's scapeo, and I'll just go to the third definition. It says, well, the first definition is good also. It says to look, observe, contemplate, you know, so you shouldn't only be observing, you know, your own things. Yes, you keep yourself in order to the best of your ability, but you know, it says you should also contemplate, you know, brother's situation, other brothers things. You know, brother lend you maybe his car, or he lends you you know, something, you know, of something tangible, you know, you care it just as how, you know, you would want if you loaned it to him, you know, you would expect him to care it as well, you know. So that's the level of dependability, you know. We depend on each other, you know, in a sense. Ultimately we all depend on Yahweh Shem Yahushai, but once again, speaking as men, we definitely depend on each other, and you want to ensure that, you know, as the brother Ariel always says, that, you know, you're contributing to the body, you're aiding, you know, you're giving aid. So you're not just taking aid from the body, but you're able to give aid onto the body as well. But you need, you know, but if it's a case that every time, you know, someone reaches out for aid, you're unable to, you know, to perform or to provide that aid, or you mess it up, you know, by not, you know, being attentive towards it, you know, you're gonna gain that reputation of, you know, not being dependable. Right, so that's we want to, you know, build up, you know, our reputation as it regards to, you know, being dependable and providing aid to the body. Jump into the third definition. It says to fix one eyes upon, direct one's attention to anyone or anything. So, you know, you want to direct your attention, you know, towards the things of brothers, right? So you know, last week Friday, you know, a brother reached out to me. Not gonna say the brother's name, you know. In my eyes, you know, a good brother, a brother that's, you know, always there, always is a brother that always helps, you know, always. Once it's in his power, then you're good to go. No questions asked. Then that's just the spirit that brother has, you know, in any capacity, whether it be advice, whether it be, you know, you go off, he's the first to let you know straight, hey, you know, fix that, you know. A real good brother, as once again speak as a man, but you know, based on the brother's character and reputation, he's of good report, you know. He is known for that, and if you ask anyone in the camp, if I should say his name, you know, brothers will be able to say the same. Now, the brother called me up, you know, asked me to perform a task for him, and the task was it roughly to complete the task, it would actually take me about 5 to 10 minutes the most, probably 15, depending on how complex I or how deep I thought on it, you know. But 10 to 15, 5 to 15 minutes, anywhere about there, more or less, it could have been done. But at the time that he asked me to do it, you know, I was unable to. So I you know, I hit the brother up. I say, hey, is it a case that you need this right now? Is it something urgent, or, you know, I have a time frame, like, let me know, because really I can't do it at this very moment. And he was saying that, you know, no, it's fine, it's not a timeline, but you know, it's something important, I need for it to be done, you know. And even before we got to that point, you know, when he was telling me what he needed, he said, hey, you know, his exact words were, you know, can you help our brother out, you know. Like, those were exact words. So that's why, you know, at the end, those were the words that come back to me. So task was about 10-15 minutes. Wasn't able to do it at the time based on the current situation that I was in. So I told him, all right, not to worry, you know, I'm going to get it done, seeing that it's not that urgent, you know, I will be able to get it done. as soon as I get some free time. So that was Friday. It slipped when I was done doing what I was doing. Um, slipped me on Saturday. Was a bit busy as well, but Saturday in the night came in tired. I was like, you know what? First thing tomorrow morning, I'm gonna get this done for the brother. I don't want it to go into Monday or anything. I like first thing in the morning. So got up Sunday, um, watching some videos there, chilling, and it crossed my mind. I'm like, hey, need to get this done. And the moment I thought about it, the brother called me like, hey, Ak, it's now morning. And I was saying, because he actually checked in with me, and I told him that I was going to do it in the morning. I said, hey, Ak, yeah, just thought about it. I'm going to do it in a few or in a sec, right? I gave him the impression that I was, within the next, like right away, like 5 minutes time or so, it would have been done. So after, I was watching the video was close to being end. So I just said, look, at the end of the video, I'll just get it done. Now, between the time of, the video coming to an end, I got distracted and it slipped my mind. Totally slipped my mind, went about the day, doing, chores, all type of thing, just was going through. And then about 5, I said, snap, I forgot. So I got right to it, and one of the details that the brother gave me, to complete the task, I didn't remember. So I called the brother and I was like, hey, Ak, what was that one thing that you told me to do to ensure that this was done properly? And he was like, he was a bit disappointed, and he did express that. He was like, Ak, are you just doing it? You told me this morning that you were doing it, and I gave an excuse. I was like, hey, you told me that it wasn't urgent, and seeing that it wasn't urgent, I didn't think that there would be an issue. No. And he was saying, look, it's not a fact of it being urgent or not. The thing is, you told me that you were going to do it right there and then when I called you this morning. And I'm working with your word. I took your word for it. So that is what I have an issue with. you know and when he said that, I remember the words just flashed through my head, like he said, yo, help a brother out. And once again, it's a brother that always helps. And the words came through, be thy brother's keeper. That's the words that went through my mind in the spirit. And I was like, wow, I really messed up. I really messed up. And he gave me the information. I told him I was done. He said, all right, cool. And I was thinking about it, all of Sunday. I thought about it Monday. On Monday, I sent him a message, apologized. And we squared it out. But I really thought about it, and like, hey, being a brother's keeper is more than just, saying that you give a brother money, or you give a brother arms, or you prove a brother in righteousness. It's about times like these, when a brother asks for aid, where you have to literally, like, maybe in a physical sense, get something done. And when I thought about it, I was like, look, that was a task that 5 to 15 minutes throughout the whole weekend. And it's like, I was saying, what if it was more urgent? What if it's a case that because I told him that I did it, he maybe have relayed the information or started to put things in place, thinking that it would have been done right there and then. And I was like, yo, that was not me being dependable. The brother was actually depending on, and he trust my word. And to know that a brother would actually trust your word, and then you do that, that's not being brotherly. That's not being your brother's keeper. So I prayed about it. When the brother, we're good and everything, but it was just an experience that I thought would be edifying, as I started to look up, the brotherly love, being your brother's keeper. Because the word, when you go into the Hebrew word for keep, it's the word shamar, which means to watch, to guard, to pay attention to, as we even touch on a few definitions throughout this lesson. And it really opened my eyes to a few things. And then it even got me thinking about, if this is how I I dealt with a brother, how about, when I'm in my day-to-day life, is it that this is how I actually, operate, while going through my day-to-day life as a man of the Lord. It had me thinking about a lot of things. So if you're a brother and this relates to you, where you see that, you have been guilty of this, pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, for forgiveness, and also, make amends with your brother, then pray and, try your best to change, as, we are all striving towards perfection. All right. So once again, hope this is edifying. Want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakal Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps, the hopeful elect. Shalom.